Okay, this video we're looking at positive powers of n and n is even. So we've got y equals x to the power of n and n is even. So for starting, we'll start with a quadratic. So y equals x squared. Let's draw that in. So roughly looks, I'll say, looks like something like this. Okay, goes through the origin, goes through the point 1, 1, and also the point minus 1, minus 1. Okay, so that's y equals x squared. Now, next one is x to the power 4. So in comparison to that, x to the 4 is going to look something like this. Okay, it follows the same shape, goes through the points minus 1, minus 1, positive 1, positive 1, and also goes through the origin. So that's out, there's a turning point there. So that was cortex that we were doing in chapter 4, or 5.2, sorry, and obviously quadratics a few chapters earlier. I'll just go through one more, which is x to the power of 6. And again, that's going to be even steeper. But follows the same shape. Goes through minus 1, minus 1, positive 1, positive 1. And as we can see, similar to the odd powers, we get closer and closer to the x-axis as we go higher in power. So in between those 2 points, it's getting quite shallow, I guess you can say. But outside these boundaries, we're going up steep, quite steeply actually, in comparison to those. So we had, this one was x to the 4, and this one is x to the 6. So what are the similarities? Well, they all go through x squared, x to the 4, x to the 6. They all go through minus 1, minus 1, positive 1, positive 1, and 0, 0. They all follow the same shape, and they all have a local minimum at 0, 0. So a minimum at 0, 0. And as I said, the higher the power, the narrower the graph is going to be. So x to the 6 obviously quite more narrow than x to the 4, and x squared in comparison. So what we can say is, if n is an even positive integer, the graph of y equals x to the n will have a minimum turning point at 0, 0. So similar to our odd degrees where they had a stationary point of inflection, this one we have a low or a minimum turning point at 0, 0.